Alright, so I haven't uploaded a video in a while, so I figured we'd go ahead and get some work done on the this is a Hisun 500. It's a rhino clone. Got several videos on it. Today I am fixing these hinges for the tailgate. I've already started on it. We'll start out here where I'm at with it. I got it off. Basically what I did was I took and these were busted off. You can see the seam. These two. So what I did was I took my trusty little propane torch here and I heated up the plastic rim along the tailgate itself and got it melty. So where it melted just a little bit, you know, you see a little flame, and just pressed that hinge back on where it was supposed to be. It's pretty solid as it is. Used a clamp to hold it, right? That was the process. But it's pretty solid the way it is. No big deal. We're going to take and do a little extra. We're going to grab ourselves up these little pieces of metal here. That's a stem from a flag, like from Dig Right Electric Company, water company, whatnot. It's just a little small piece of metal that I bent into some 90-degree angles, and we are going to heat them up to a melting point and press them into the plastic. That way it gives it a little extra support. We'll start off here by how you remove the tailgate. Is first thing that you do is there are these little straps that hold the tailgate up, 10mm bolt. You'll take those out of the tailgate on both sides, and then there's going to be several of these screws that are just Allen head screws, and they connect in the back of this panel, which this panel here sits on the back of your tailgate with them screws. Take all them screws out, and then you can slide this metal panel up off your tailgate and just set it off to the side. And then your hinges will have these little brackets that screw on down here to your tailgate. That's what holds it all together. So you'll unscrew those, and then you can unplug the light for your license plate. You can go ahead and unplug those two plugs from underneath and feed your wire back through the back end of the frame and into tailgate. So, and then after you've gotten it taken apart, removed, I went ahead and, like I said, I melted those hinges back onto the tailgate itself, and got them pretty well secured on. Well, not that secure. So I guess I can go ahead and show you what I did to get it started. That might be a little handier. The other one I melted a little more than this one, so it does make sense that it wanted to come off, but get those a little bit soft. Soften up our tailgate. Press that together good. And we'll just let that dry a little bit, and we'll let it harden up just a touch, and then we'll come right back. All right, we've let that cool down. Got little pieces of metal here, little metal wire. We're just going to go ahead and take a pair of needle nose pliers and get a hold of that in the corner. You don't want a whole lot of meat on it because you want it to get hot and heat will disperse through the tip of these needle nose pretty easily, and it'll cool it down pretty quick. This is just a little redneck ingenuity here. I've done this on several things, fenders and plastic wheel wells, just anything that doesn't much gotta be pretty but needs to be stronger. You can Frankenstein it in like this. This will be hot, so don't put it on there and then touch it. You will burn the heck out of yourself. Find you a screwdriver, nice little flathead, and that way you can help press on with it. When I heat these up, I like to get them good glowing hot, red, real red. Stick it on there, it'll just melt right in. Don't shove too hard or else you'll shove it through your material. When heating stuff up, if you do it right to the tip of the blue flame, that's the hottest part of the flame. Like I said, it's going to be hot, so don't slip up and touch it with your fingers trying to be silly and forget what you're doing. Rotate it around, get her good and hot, whole thing. Not something you gotta hurry and rush. Something you want to take your time, get some good even heat. Anytime you're fooling with an open flame, you don't want to be careless. You want to be very methodical. Take your time. Do it once. It'll cool off relatively quick when you get it in there. So, what I also like to do after I get that little metal piece melted down in there is I like to heat up the tip of a flathead screwdriver, and then you'll take and you'll work it around that metal to melt the plastic over the top of it so it encases that metal, and it gives you a little extra strength, you know, a little something extra for that plastic and metal to bond to, and makes a good flat surface, looks half decent. This ain't a beauty queen show model. This is just something to get the tailgate back together so I don't have to buy a whole plastic piece. And you know, they're plastic, they're gonna break. If you use it, it's not gonna last forever. It gets you done in a pinch, in a bind. There's probably another way to do it that might be better. It's whatever suits you the best. No big deal. So you get that good and hot, and just press it down around it. Knock down that high spots. Just like a little flat iron. Sometimes you'll have to get back to your heat. You want it to be glowing pretty hot. You don't have to get it blazing hot, but a good little glow on the red, and you're good to go. Also, I like to take it on these little cracks here. I'm not going to do anything on the side work of it. I'm just going to put 3 pieces along the back. So on the sides, I'll take that flathead screwdriver and I will get down into the corners of them cracks and melt them together. Just help bond that plastic together. Okay. Also, if you end up with a hole or something like that you're trying to fill with the plastic, you can always get you a zip tie. Get you a plastic zip tie and melt that plastic zip tie and press it down with your flathead screwdriver into them cracks or a hole or whatever you're trying to fill up. That plastic zip tie will work pretty good. But that's what we're gonna do, and we'll get it finished up and slap back on the machine. Should be good to go. So as always, get out there and get something done, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Y'all have a blessed day. I decided I'd go ahead and put some extra angles on the insides of these hinges. I've got the back side done, but I'll go show y'all what that looks like, I suppose. We're gonna get our piece of metal here good and blazing hot. Nice red hot. Like I said, don't be touching it with your fingers. Use your flathead screwdriver here. Get that dropped into that corner there. Press it in. You get the whole thing pressed in, just like that. Do one more. This will be the last one. I already got the other hinge completed, front and back. This will be the last one I need to finish it up. And then I suppose once I get this finished up here, I'll conclude the video with a little reassembly process. I'm not going to do the whole reassembly because I'm going to get a farm tag to put here where the license plate goes. But to be able to put a license plate on, you've got to have that metal backer piece off, because there's some run through bolts there that you get to the backside behind that metal plate. And I want to go ahead and just get that done while I got it all apart, while we're fooling with stuff. And like I said, I'll show you a little bit of reassembly on the hinges, but I'm not going to put that metal plate back on the back of it just yet until I got myself that farm tag put on here. It's a slow moving vehicle, and in Missouri you don't have to pay property tax or sales tax on a farm use vehicle, so I better get it all propered up. This thing spends most of its time out on our acreage. It's just a good little run around vehicle. Surprisingly, for what it is, it's marked really well. They get a bad rap being these little Chinese vehicles, but I like it. I think it does pretty good. So we'll be right back with an assembly. Got interrupted by my buddies. Stopped by to see what we was all up to. An old Pro machine and 16 turbo. We all do a little bit of everything around these parts. So back where I was here, we talked about a little bit of reinstallation process. Get this set up here. First time using a stand, so we'll see how well this will work out. I'm not a video guy by any means, but I have a channel, so I might as well upload a video every now and again. So, as you can see, there's these little sections here of rod. That's what the tailgate holds on to, and those sections of rod go inside these Little rail right here. Your wire, you're gonna run through here, and it's gonna go up the frame. And there's a little notch here for between that the wire's sticking to. So now you're gonna take and hook the tailgate on here. I'll tell you what, it's a little bent up, so I'm going to bend this out a little before I install, and we will come back to this. So this rail right here has got a little bend in it. Yeah, let's see if that does us any justice. Sorry if the video's too long. It's just recording from a cell phone. Thought about getting a good GoPro one of these days. Yeah. There we go. Situated around. You're lined up how we like it. Three latch on there to hold it. Take the little bracket. Lined up there. Little bends go up to the top. That way the flat covers up your entire little channel. Keeps everything nice and tight. It is plastic that you're running these screws back into, so you don't want to go crazy hammering them down. I'm using a little 1/4 inch impact, which it'll strip them out if you go too crazy with it, but just run it down till you get a couple of ducks and call that good. Okay, so now once you got that done, you can flop your tailgate back down. Like I said, I'm not going to go full install because I'm getting ready to put a farm tag on there. So I need to leave it off so I can get these bolts pulled off. But basically, you're going to take your backer plate here, and it's got a lip on it. So you take that lip and line it up on the tailgate, roll it over, flips back down like that. You're going to run your screws back in to the back plate here. You all your screws ran back down. You'll take your little tie cable, bolt and washer that came with it, run her back together, 10mm bolt, crack her back on. This side broke, so I just made me a little chain here. We're gonna put a chain on it, have a length of chain, and call it a day. So that's where I'm at with it, and hopefully it helps some people out. Y'all have a good one. Bless.